Hey everybody, Adam from Team Swish here, and some vintage. I've been doing a lot of testing for Eternal Weekend, and so the last piece of content you saw from me was actually kind of in the midst of that, kind of break things up a little bit, play a little Legacy. But now, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm looking at in vintage. So this is green-white Lumi, green-white Hatebears, green-white Wesal. So this is Magic Online player who took this to a topic challenge finish last weekend, and this is kind of a green-white Archon of Emeria, Thalia, Stoneforge Outland Liberator Hatebears deck. Kind of go over a couple things. Obviously, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, kind of tax your opponent's spells out, make their moxes cost more. Archon of Emeria, going to kind of shut down big, long combo turns right on the spot. There's one Chalice of the Void, so you slam that on 0 and shut off all your opponent's moxes, or 1 if your opponent is like a cantrip-based deck. We also have a Thalia Heretic Cathars, kind of a bonus copy of Archon, making all their stuff come in tapped. Then we also have Outland Liberator. So this is a card from the Innistrad Crimson Vow set, and what this does is... Innistrad Midnight Hunt set. And what this does is, it is a 2/2 for 1 to green. You can pay 1, sacrifice it, and destroy target artifact or enchantment. When it flips over, it is a 3/3 with the same ability. But whenever it attacks, you can destroy an artifact or enchantment. It turns out there are a lot of artifacts running around Vintage, and therefore the constant attack trigger blow up some artifacts is very, very good. Finally, we're on some Once Upon a Times to help us kind of stitch stuff together. This is a 16-ish land deck for 8, 12, 16, 17, 18? 18 land deck. So you're an 18 land deck. So being able to kind of stitch together some of your draws or find the relevant like Noble Hierarch or Hatebear when you want it is very good. 2 Force of Vigors. Again, artifacts are everywhere in Vintage, so you want answers to those. Luminarch Aspirant and Stoneforge Mystic being kind of your primary clocks. Stoneforge package being sort of Fire and Ice, Batterskull, and Cauldron Complete. Then in the sideboard, 4 Collector Oof. Again, artifacts are everywhere in Vintage. 2 more Force of Vigors, same reason. Pithing Needle, Grafdigger's Cage, and 4 Sanctifier and Vec. All of these cards are for Dredge. Dredge is kind of one of the boogeyman decks of the Vintage format. Bazaar of Baghdad really turbocharges that. If you are familiar with Modern or Legacy Dredge, they have an uncounterable version of like a Faithless Looting style effect, but it lets them draw 2 and discard 3, and they basically base their entire deck around it. Dredge does not keep an opening hand that does not contain Bazaar of Baghdad, period. They play Serum Powder to help find Bazaar of Baghdad. It is absolutely absurd. So you want as many answers to Dredge as you can possibly muster. And then Mindbreak Trap. This is going to deal with things like Paradoxical Outcome or maybe Doomsday, spell-based combo decks. So that's kind of where we're at. I have made one change to this list. I have taken out 1 Stoneforge Mystic, and I've replaced it with 1 Raminap Excavator. The reason here being that we are a 4 Wasteland plus 1 Strip Mine deck. There are going to be games that can just be won on the back of recurring Wasteland or Strip Mine over and over and over again until our opponent is unable to do anything. As such, I thought that Raminap Excavator is very good. Also, the Workshops or Shops deck, the primary prison deck of the format, is known for playing multiple like Wasteland style effects and being able to rebuy lands from our graveyard to kind of help offset their Wastelands felt valuable. So that's kind of where we're at there. Now, let's get this started. For anybody who watches these on the Team Swish YouTube and also watches my Twitch channel, this is my 3rd league of the day. So I have already played a league with Bant Archon and another league with this green-white Lumi deck. So as it turns out, when I played this deck in my previous league, I had put 4 Containment Priest into the sideboard, because in my mind, I said, oh yeah, you wanted a white Dredge Hatebear, you play Containment Priest. As it turns out, I went back and looked at Wesal's list. Wesal was not playing Containment Priest. They were playing the Sanctifier and Vec. So I've instead made that swap. At the end of my stream with this list, the version of this list that I played, I said that I kind of wanted to change Containment Priest into Endurance, because I think Endurance also has text against Doomsday, and I think that's kind of a big game. But we'll see how that kind of plays out. We're going to play this back exactly the way Wesal had it. I was also playing a sort of Feast and Famine, because the initial list that had been posted in the Vintage Discords had a sort of Feast and Famine over a sort of Fire and Ice. I did not realize that Wesal had made the switch for the challenge. So I have made those switches to one for one play the list that Wesal played in the challenge, and we'll see how that goes. Oh. I'm channeling my inner Rick Shea here. So this is some Mountain Valley White Peach Sparkling Water. I recently have gone on quite a sparkling mineral water kick. Your boy loves some Topo Chico. But unfortunately, Topo Chico is getting very difficult to find these days. This Mountain Valley stuff, pretty good. Definitely can get behind this. So, kind of see here where queue times are getting a little long. I did notice at the end of my stream that the queue times were kind of starting to build up. I'm not sure if everyone's kind of settling in for the evening, or it is a function of the Legacy Eternal Weekend events going on right now. But, yep. Kind of where we're at. Opponent, please. Lost the die roll. That's unfortunate. Apologies for the phone sounds. My wife is currently out of town, and I am waiting for grocery delivery. So, phone sounds you hear are a byproduct of me having to actually listen to my phone for a bit. So, my apologies. Alright. Opponent joined the game. Waiting. This hand feels bad. I'm going to mulligan. Opponent kept 7. I'm going to mulligan. Huh. This one I like better. I think I'm going to ship back this sort of Fire and Ice. Mox, yes. Trop. Noble, okay. So this tells me that opponent is on Bant Archon. I'm going to cast here because if opponent has... Oh, there's just a Savannah right there. Cool. That's better. That is a lot better. So make sure opponent doesn't counter this Mox, which I don't think they will. This Cavern will name Human. And then I will play a Luminarch Aspirant. So this deck is sometimes referred to as Green-White Lumi. Lumi being short for Luminarch Aspirant. Hell yeah. Opponent plows my Aspirant, sure. So this is slightly dangerous. Opponent is a Collector Roof deck. Wasteland, yikes. So if opponent goes Wasteland, Collector Roof, we are in trouble. No Collector Roof. I love it. Outland Liberator. So the reason we're playing Liberator here, opponent did nothing on their last turn, and so I will play the Outland Liberator because they didn't make a land drop, and I would love for them to... Yep. My game plan here is to try to blow up their Mox. Okay. So opponent is attacking with Noble Hierarch. That's fine. Just gonna take some damage here. So I'm going to play my Aspirant here. If opponent plows, I will blow up their mocks. It's just kind of free for me to do. So, opponent has a lot of mana here. I probably should have set a stop in their upkeep and just Force of Vigor their mocks. We'll see. This one. Okay. Pitch my Outland Liberator. Force of Negation. Sure, that's fine. That's also fine. Wasteland. Yep, that's not something I'm worried about in the slightest. I'm not going to cast my mocks here, actually. So, I will say, not casting my mocks here, there's a danger of this. Opponent's deck contains Lavinia Azorius Renegade, and so by not casting my mocks, opponent could untap and play Lavinia, at which point I would be in rough shape. Like, this Mox would sit here basically forever. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm going to take that risk. It's the Mox. Opponent has to kind of decide here what matters. They have 4 mana. 4 mana isn't really any different in this deck from 3 mana. What is this? Time Walk, sure. Means my Liberator flips back. Cool. Dig Through Time is scary. Like, I still have more pressure than they do, though. They're just attacking with, like, a single Hierarch with a couple of Exalted triggers. Going to end step, yep. Alright. This is flipped back. So now opponent has to cast 2 spells again. Or opponent, I guess opponent has to cast a spell. Oko is fine. What is Oko going to do? At present, I'm not super concerned with anything they've got going on. Like, it might actually be worth their time to just elk a noble hierarch, but elking a hierarch kind of... Well, nope. There's fetch for Tundra. Interesting. Seems like opponent has kind of determined that this Oko might be how they win the game. I think that I can do better than that. Lavinia? Archon. Sure. I'm fairly confident I can beat an Archon. Gas. Gonna cast my noble here. I'm gonna attack your Oko. If you'd like for your Oko to survive, you have to throw this Archon in front of it. Which feels pretty good for me. Now I will play my Mox. My Outland Liberator's not flipping anyway. They've given me the bigger clock. Control of target artifact or creature your opponent controls. You control, and target creature and opponent controls. Huh. That's interesting. I'm gonna blow this up. I don't think we're in a position where that's gonna, like, become things anymore. And I think this Oko is kind of defensive now. Like, this is attacking as a 5/5 basically every turn. I still have a couple of mana. Opponent is on 0 cards. And every time they block this with something, that puts me in a pretty okay spot. Does this just throw away the Oko to trade and take my 4/4? No, you're gonna make a food. Okay. Alright. Strip mine. This is coming at Oko. Something has to step in front of this Oko. Probably a noble? Oh, they just throw the oof in front of it immediately. Okay. Gonna take you off your white source. That seems fine. Like, these two nobles exist, but I think these nobles are... Yeah. Their opponent is trying to plus Oko on the food token. Oh, Ponder. Interesting. Freeing up my Moxes is great. I think opponent is correct to Ponder before they activate Oko here. They're gonna elk. Yep. Are you just gonna clock me? It's like a reasonable thing for you to do. Okay. Lavinia. Sure. I mean, I'm not looking to cast that many non-creature spells, friend. I'm gonna be real with you for a minute. I'm gonna keep attacking the Oko. Okay. That's fine. I like that a whole lot for me. Cannot currently cast this Once Upon a Time because of the Lavinia in play. What are you thinking, opponent? Make another food, sure. Yup. I will once again attack Oko and let you throw something under the bus. I'm just gonna always yield to this Noble Hierarch trigger. Okay. Opponent likes the notion of probably swapping this food token for my aspirant. Yep. Oh, for my noble. Yep. I will easy money just gain. Attack Oko again. Cast my Thalia. This makes the opponent have Force of Will plus blue card. They do not. Great. Opponent just kind of has to keep sending their stuff into the abyss. Keep throwing their creatures away to protect this Oko because they've decided this Oko is how they're winning the game. Which gets even more questionable post-board. Nice. Tapped idiot. I like it a lot. Are you going to minus this Oko again to swap with one of my things? Because, like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. What is opponent feeling? I wonder if this is where opponent, like, carefully reads Thalia Heretic Cathar for the 37th time and goes, rough. Forgot about that. Yup. Because right now... Okay. You have elked your Hierarch. Or my Hierarch that you stole. I'm sure, like, that's fine. Alright. This one at Oko. This one at Oko. Everybody in the pool at Oko. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that's all fine. So if opponent casts a Lavinia in response, I will Once Upon a Time. Currently trying to figure out ways to get out in front of this. Blue. Yep. Once. Green. Blue. That one seems good. Sure. So this is going to be Stoneforge Mystic off of the 2 Moxes. and then cast my Noble Hierarch. Yep, you have a food. That's fine. And then attack Oko for 4. Gas. I like finding more things. Yep, this is the Force Blue card. Okay. Opponent had a second Oko. I don't know why they've been protecting that one so hard then, if they already had a second one. That seems very strange and questionable. Opponent has to throw the Noble Hierarch. No. They're just going to let Oko go to 1. Okay. Yep, that's fine. You have another 3/3. Yep, I will take 4. This is all very fine with me. Aspirant. Aspirant will put a counter on Thalia. I'm pretty in on this Thalia at this point. Once again, attack Oko. Yep. Apologies, this is once again my groceries. While I'm greatly appreciative of the fact that these grocery services exist, it is strange to me how difficult it is for some to... Okay. Sure. I'm taking 5. Okay, go to 8. So my current grocery shopper, yikes, that is unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna go to combat first. Put one on the Luminarch Aspirant itself. Attack Oko once again. Pass. So now this Aspirant can trade with Lavinia unless they attack with exclusively Lavinia, which doesn't seem like the world they've really put themselves in. Oh, that's right. This is an elk. This isn't an... Oh, okay. Now it's a noble again. Now there's an actual noble in play. Cool. 4. Sure. I will go to 4. Cavern of Souls. Core. Okay. Huh. Opponent can elk another thing. Yes, what is the difference between... They elk another thing. Okay. I'm going to put this counter on Aspirant. Sure. They either get to make an elk or they don't. They've thrown another thing away. Cool. Mox is fine. Not great, but fine. Trade your Mox with my Aspirant. Yep. That's pretty unfortunate. Alright. So, I want Crusaders. I want this needle. I don't necessarily know that I want Force of Vigor. I don't want the card disadvantage. And Chalice seems pretty mediocre as a whole. Like, my opponent has some fast mana, but not all of it. No, they do have all of it. They, like me, have all of it. So if I can get out underneath them, that feels pretty good. Maybe Raminapping them isn't exactly a viable strategy because they have nobles. I can believe that. Sure, you can submit this. This is turn 1 Archon. This is a turn 1 Archon. I will cast Once Upon a Time because if Once Upon a Time finds me a Cavern of Souls, this is a turn 1 uncounterable Archon. Nope, but it did find me another Archon. So, we'll just, cast. Cast. White, 1, 2, Archon? Oh, opponent just F6'd. Lotus? Sure. That's your one. Canopy. White. White. Red. Mirroring Crusader? Green, green, green. Endurance. Sure. Put your Lotus back in your deck? Rad. I understand. That's fine. I have a second Archon. Mox. Sure. Lands. Cavern of Souls. Archon. Okay. Archon. We're going to clock my opponent with this protection from green double striker. And then say go. I think we're going to draw a card off of our canopy in their turn. Holy wow. My apologies. That is very loud and I'm turning that down now. I mean, you're welcome to attack. I will allow it. You don't currently have Hull Breacher available to you. That's a much better land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Couple mana away from Cauldron, but that's probably fine. Outland Liberator. Blue, green. I'm really tempted to just, like, kind of tempo our opponent out here. And take their Mox Emerald now. Yep. You told me that that mattered, so... Yeah, opponent tried to cast a spell there, and... could not or did not. One or the other. So, by them doing that, that leads me to believe that that Mox was important to their whole plan. Yeah, Collector's fine. Don't care about that. Probably still gonna leave this canopy in play because I don't think I'm drawing anything. Okay, well, human. Okay. Continue with the double striker that you can't currently beat. Feels like good news for me. I think I will. I think I'll wait on canopy. I can do I can canopy in their turn. So, when playing this deck previously, I hadn't realized the way that the new day-night cycle works. The day-night cycle actually cares, even when things aren't in play, for it to matter. So I, at one point, cast a sick. Put this in your hand. Oh, okay. Cool, I guess. Alright. Anything change? No, I don't think anything really changes on the draw. I think I just need to think about my hands a little differently. Understand that my opponent can disrupt all my fast mana. So I have to be more considerate of the fact that I might not get to wait on my Once Upon a Times, things like that. Mox starts might be less effective. Huh. That sure is a lot of cards, I suppose. Because this just has to hit white source. And we even have basic planes in our deck for this to hit, so... that's fine. Going to take the cavern. Needle can name a lot of things here. I think that the scariest one of these is Oko. We can just shut that whole portion of opponent's deck off on the get. Wasteland is the other consideration. Opponent could play Wasteland here, Wasteland, or Wasteland, and then returns from doing anything. This could be Archon. Could be Lavinia. Archon, sure. Gonna name human here. Too many of the cards that I care about are in my hand are humans. No reason to Wasteland here. So now opponent has to... okay. Opponent clocks me for 3 in the air. That's fine. Next turn I cast Uncounterable Luminarch Aspirant or Outland Liberator. I think the answer is probably... oh, the answer is Liberator for sure. This one comes in taps. This casts Liberator. So, opponent now has to respect the fact that if they don't cast... oh, Borrower? Weird, but okay. Alright. Weird. For some reason, I'm incapable of responding to my shopper. Awkward. I mean, yeah, that... You wastelanded me. It's a thing you get to do. Okay. Opponent's cast a Lavinia. Sure. The Archon kind of shuts off fast mana from being good anyway, so I'm not sure why that was particularly relevant, but I guess. Okay. Opponent has very few cards in hand, but they do have a Borrower they can cast on their turn to... Let's find out. Okay. Sylvan Library trigger. I can't see this being a position where opponent just pays a bunch of life. I lied. Opponent just pays a bunch of life. Yep, Mox. So Mox keeps it from flipping. This attacks me for 3. That's fine. Play my land tapped. Play Uncounterable Noble. Attack. Always yield the Noble Hierarch trigger. That sounds great. That also makes me think opponent has a second Lavinia. I'm just going to blow that up now. I don't want opponent to draw any extra cards. Yeah. You have Flyer. As it sits right now, my game plan next turn is to cast Archon of Emeria. I will block probably their Borrower. Okay, opponent's just like on the Borrower aggro plan. Okay. I am gonna wasteland this. Whites 1/1 Archon. I will name Archon. One of these is on human, one of these is on Archon. All of my spells in hand are uncounterable. This all feels pretty okay. Right, they're going to attack right now with Borrower. I'm kind of priced into blocking. Lavinia's fine. That doesn't matter. Opponent? What? Hello? Easy block. Good talk. I'm kind of priced into casting my Archon here. To block their Archon. Because right now they just attack with Archon, 2 Exalted triggers, sure. It's so weird that opponent is at 10 and I feel like I'm like wildly behind. Yep. Does not matter in the slightest. Okay. I don't have a flyer to block. I'm just dead. Cool. So, that was unfortunate. That one was very winnable. Opponent's hand just kind of shaped up with all of the right things to stop what we had going on, and Sylvan Library got to dig them cards deeper to find more relevant cards. So, it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I think that is a very winnable... Like, the Bant matchup is very winnable. It is very, very winnable. Alright, there's another one already. Let's go. Lost another die roll. I mean, that feels okay, right? Keep. They mulled the 6. I'm just going to decide what this chalice goes on. Which opponent will kind of tell me over the first couple of turns of the game. Here's a Mox, sure. The question is what opponent, like, the choice of lands and things like that will tell me exactly what... Lotus, okay, that's spooky. Jet, Lotus, Sapphire. Oh, opponent's Bug, okay. Not a particular reason to not cast these artifacts. I will play Mox. Probably won't play Mana Crypt. Chalice is better for later. I'm going to play Wasteland this turn to play around their Wastelands. Opponent's going to clock me for 5. That's problematic. But opponent has a hand that shut off all their garbage. That's pretty hot. Human. I don't think it's particularly worth trading this now. I'll just take 5 more. Play Horizon Canopy. Aspirant will target itself. I get to wipe their board. I mean, I'm down to free up my Mox, as long as it doesn't cost me anything. 2 mana Ancestral Recall. Sure, that's fine. Deathrick Shaman? Sure thing. Okay. I now like the notion of Chalice of the Void on 1. Play my basic. Done. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Next turn, I just get a Cauldron Complete around my Thalia. Deal? Hey, we won our crypt flip. That could be better. Question mark? Cauldron Complete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you have Force of Will? You do not. So game plan right now is just to clock them with Cauldron Complete. Fetch, yes. So we're like, we 100% need to win our mana crypt flip here. Like that's kind of a given. Tutor is fine. What is Tutor finding? I'm kind of confused. Rip. Alright. Lost our crypt flip, lost the game. Fair. Alright. We board in Mirroring Crusaders. Pithing Needle. Board out Force of Vigors. Those don't particularly matter. And then Chalice isn't actually that great. We got kind of lucky. Chalice is kind of bad overall. I could also see cutting an Outland Liberator. Our opponent's not going to play that many artifacts. I think I like that better, and we can still just Chalice. Sure, let's go. Yes, please. Keep. Cast this. Cast this. Core. Stoneforge. Yes, please. Get the Cauldron. Opponent will have a particularly difficult time beating a Cauldron. Their answer is Oko or bust. Yeah. I'm floating there out of habit, not out of the fact that it does anything. Sure. You got it. Name human. We have drawn first blood. Sure. Deathroot Shaman? Deathroot Shaman. Deal. Cauldra. Cast Black Lotus. What you got, opponent? Yeah, that's fine. Decay Sword, sure. So there was a line there that put Crusader in play instead. I think Crusader was a pretty, like, savage house against them. We could have put it in uncounterably even and then used the leftover mana to activate Stoneforge and put it in Sword. But I figured... Oko? Deluge on 5. Deal. You're on 2. Land. Sick. I will make a 2/2 that is very incredibly difficult for you to beat. Awesome. So, I don't necessarily think I want anything different here. I think this is all quite good. I think opponent may try to needle me, but I have answers to that. This looks like gas. Keep. If you make a turn 1 Collector Roof, like, I'm going to have a bad time, but beyond that, I think I'm okay. Yeah, that's fine. None of that mana was green. Op Agent's fine. So now, instead of cast Mana Crypt, put this on human. Needle this. Name Wasteland. Needle names Wasteland. White. Liberate. Aspirant. See what the opponent has to say about all this. Like, we could very easily just trade this off and be okay. Oof. Deathray Shaman. Don't care about Deathray Shaman. Promise. Attack with Op Agent. See, that's an easy trade for me. Okay. Savage. Opponent's an animal. Cavern of Souls, name Core. Chalice on 0. Shut off their fast mana. Green, 1. Cast this Liberator. I will pretty easily trade this Liberator with their Op Agent anyway. I just want to grow this Aspirant out of range. That's fine. Opponent still will not trade off. I will just attack. I'm going to say no. Sure. You got a mana. Oko, sure. Make food, you got it. Buddy, you're in a world of hurt right now. Alright, cool. Can't draw white source, I understand. It's fine. Attack Oko. I don't really want to cast another one of these into Op Agent, so I'm just gonna kind of pass. I guess. Casting a second one into Op Agent isn't terrible right now because they also have Oko, so I kind of want to play around them just elking my only active Stoneforge, just shutting off my Stoneforge Mystics. Yep, you make an elk. That's fine. Yep, that's 3. Okay. All right. It's just an endurance. Yikes. That's so bad. Just gonna free up my own Moxes now. Because the Stoneforge Mystics are what are gonna probably win me the game. Food, yes. What do we... Green? Blue? Black? Leo? Sure. That doesn't matter. You got it. Why not? Pretty rough shape here. Not drawing mana sources was not very good. You're gonna gain some life, sure. I'm not really... Yeah, alright. I guess? Is this the everybody in the pool? Huh. Yep, that's fair. Alright, well, that was again pretty savage. Not finding a single white source, including a Noble Hierarch, was rough. We had Black Lotus, Noble Hierarch, Mox Pearl, Basic Plains, Horizon Canopies, Savannas, all as live draws, and could not find them. Any of those things also just casts Mirroring Crusader, which really shifts the kind of the tide of the game. Crusader is a very difficult threat for Bug to deal with. Wild. That is kind of the number one thing I've noticed about this, is that it is exactly as you would expect, being a non-cantrip deck. There are some inconsistencies. It's weird to me that it feels this inconsistent. Like, there have been plenty of matchups that I'm just like, I just need to draw mana source. Lost a third die roll. This is uncounterable Stoneforge Mystic on turn 1. That feels like the life we want to live. Can once for additional lands or a threat. Probably a threat. Gonna keep... Both of us are keeping 7. Opponent could perceivably just be like Shops or Dredge and then we're dead, but... I think that this is a reasonable enough hand most of the time. Jet, sure. Scrubland. That's wild. What does a scrubland mean? Take another cavern. Pearl. Ruby. Cavern named Core. Stoneforge. I'm gonna turn off auto yields right now. That was a mistake. Opponent could perceivably be an opposition agent deck. Plow? Yep. Sick. Saga, sure. This one name's Human. That's fine. This is why we turned off auto yields. Okay. I mean, as it sits right now, I just want to cast a Batterskull. Opponent plays a Cavern, and also names Human. Soul Guide Lantern, sure, that doesn't matter literally at all. I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no reason to take this damage. Play this on Archon. Archer. Can I has Batterskull? If one makes a construct, it is also a 3/3. I'm not really interested in trading off with a construct. Yep, that's fine. This is probably where opponent just like gets a Pithing Needle. The needle name's Batterskull, so I can't re-equip it. But I also think that's fine. This Aspirant can just start putting counters on the Batterskull Germ. I have a Cauldra in like 2 turns. Less if I draw Mana Crypt. Interesting. So, okay. So we didn't needle that. Ghost Quarter, sure. I mean, I do have a basic land in my deck, opponent. Promise. Oh. May. I would prefer opponent didn't steal my basic. That's fine. No, that's fine. The one on Human, they said. Okay. No thank you. This is so dumb. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2. It's 5, 6, 7. Cauldra? Always yield. Proceed to beat. Attack you for 10. Opponent's deck is admittedly pretty sick. Like, I see what they're going for. Unfortunately, I think our deck is a little more raw powerful. Yes, that's fine. Sure, you got it. This is all fine. I'm gonna gain 5. You're gonna lose both of your op agents, which means my future Stoneforge Mystics are live again. I like all of the things that have just occurred. You attack for 10. I strap a Batter Skull to a Cauldra. Everything's great. Also name's human. Sure. 3. Kumbal. Yep. Promise you that's not going to matter. Opponent attacks for 10. I accept these terms. No thank you. So now, game plan, like I said, strap Batter Skull to the same germ that Cauldra is currently strapped to, and just bash for a bunch of damage over and over and over again until our opponent... Okay. Yeah, do you see that that's the line? You gonna point a plow at this germ? Like, okay. You're not doing it now. You gonna wait for me to invest mana? Is that the plan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's not a particular reason to play this Sapphire, so I'm not going to. Quit. I have constructed the biggest, dumbest robot. Just comment doing exile. Why did Kumbal not get exiled? I'm confused. Judge? That's fine. That doesn't matter either. I can't figure out for the life of me why Kumbal didn't get exiled. I'm really confused by this. Yeah, this feels like a file for comp situation for sure. I think IT will cast a Thalia. I will cast this Mox for no other reason than I can. Yeah, I don't understand what just happened. For some reason, Kumbal did not die. Crusaders. Needle. Kumbal should have. I very rarely run into issues on Magic Online, but when I do, there's some really weird, wild ones. Excavator seems like gas. What am I cutting here? Could try to turn the Stoneforge Mystic package. I don't think that's actually good. Maybe I'm not supposed to... Yeah, let's cut Force of Vigors. Outland Liberator should do the thing well enough. Seems like a reasonably fair matchup to try to play. I'm boarding in Mirroring Crusader because opponent showed me that one of their primary threats is Opposition Agent. And this just punches holes straight through Opposition Agent like it's nobody's business. But yeah, so this game is definitely, like, I was typing to opponent there. There is a bug with something that occurred there because Cauldron, when it hit Kumbal, should have exiled Kumbal and did not. That is a bug. The wording on Cauldron Complete reads, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. So when the first strike damage happened, Kumbal should have gone to exile. It did not. That is a bug. Yeah. Just like Noble into Cast Sword. Like, this is like the fairest hand on the planet, but like, that's probably fine. Like, I don't think... Sure. Like, this will find... This just needs to find us a non-land card. That's what needs to occur. Meanwhile, off screen here. Alright. Soul Ring, sure. Submit a request. Reimbursement request. Web tickets. Okay. Oh, that sucks. I guess another Noble? I feel like my mana may come under attack. 244, 289, 617. League. Opponent can only have so many Wastelands and Ghost Quarters. As they... Yep, sure, that's fine. Dark Confidant, okay. So opponent's on like a dead guy ale build, and that's like sick. Currently... Alright. Play another run. Say go. Blocked. Turn token with. Opponent's gonna try to. There's a Cathar commit. That's rad. Opponent says where we're going, we don't need green cards. Here's Cathar command. Let's go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die pretty quickly here. Commando's fine. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not dead. Opponent probably just tempos me out, though. Quit. Yikes. Soul Sword. Yep, that seems correct. Okay. No way that we're ever coming back from this one. Sick. After damage was dealt, exile. Yeah, I don't think I want anything different here. Opponent has shown me they have like some more fast mana, but that's okay. I think this is the deck we want to be presenting. Gonna... Yes. Sure. Keep. Like, these two Moxes cast everything else I want to do. Sure. Ox. Cavern of Souls. Human. Crusader. Go ahead. Yep, that's fine. Plow? Show me plow. 3, 4, 5. Freebooter. You whiff. Sure. Stoneforge Mystic. Yep. Yes. Trade Culture. Opponent is a recurrent man. Blocking was not put into this one. Sure. Cool. Sorry, I had to submit a bug report there because obviously that Cauldron Complete situation was not correct. Oh, opponent, I really hope you strip mine me. You strip mining me would be so good for me. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, obviously that Cauldron Complete situation is not correct, and I should not have... I feel like this whole video is probably going straight in the garbage now. Because I've been way too quiet during this whole process. But yeah, unfortunately, that is very clearly not how that was supposed to work. And yeah, like, not that it super mattered to the match, but like, I don't know what's an opponent's deck, right? And if opponent has cards like Unearth, which, like, feasibly given opponent's deck construction could have been in their deck. Like, they were playing plenty of small creatures, all with, like, CMC 3 or less, and it would have been very, very reasonable for them to play Unearth or a Stoneforge package with sort of Light and Shadow or something like that. And that Cabal being in their graveyard instead of being in exile matters. So, yeah, that is unfortunate, and my apologies for being quiet during that process. It is... that was just not how that was supposed to pan out. Not even a little bit. So, for any of you who are curious too, there's actually a pretty substantial list of bugs that exist on Magic Online, and the most complete and thorough version of this is actually on the Penny Dreadful website. Penny Dreadful being a Magic format, I guess? Sure. I don't know what opponent is doing, but like... What is this going to hit that I want it to hit? That one. That one's pretty reasonable, actually. Human. That turns this on next turn. Off of a cavern as well, naming Cleric. Cool. I don't know that I... Okay. Yeah. You've probed me. The jig is up. So opponent now knows that my hand is double cavern, Savannah. Yeah, that's fine. Yup. You have 9 cards in hand, opponent. How do you beat a whole pile of caverns? Sure. Soul Ring, yes. Time Vault, sure. This one, this one? Got it. You have the force. Okay. Opponent is on Blue Tinker. This is gonna name, I don't know, Archon. I know opponent's not a Wasteland deck, so that basically doesn't matter. I'm just gonna put all these in play. If opponent just has key, I need to find a Wasteland in a right hurry. Because this saga is just going to find key. I didn't think that waiting was going to allow me any real benefit. Yep. This one. Green, 1, 1. You got it or you don't. 1, 2, make construct, sure. You have the force too? That would be unfortunate. Oh, you don't have the force. That's so good for me. You not having the force is actually great. I can beat a 4/4 like pretty easily. Step 1, present collector roof, which is in my sideboard. This one is gonna name Core. Play Archon off of Archon. This one, and one of these it doesn't matter. This could get breachered. I don't really want to attack into that right now. And it, like, I don't know what else opponent could potentially have. Yeah, hull breacher, sure. Called it. Good. Tap land, yes. You get to attack for 4, that's fine. That's a good one. Green, 1, Outland Liberator. Now you have to try to keep this from flipping. Good luck, have fun. Attack for 3. My game plan right now is to flip this Outland Liberator. Yes, sick. I absolutely will not block. That's fine. Oh, so good. Chalice and 0. Combat. This one. At any point that this construct becomes truly problematic, I can just kill it. Opponent fetches. Black, blue. You've cast a tutor. That's your one spell. Now this eats the construct. I can also just block with Noble at any point in time, and that's totally fine. I don't feel like blocking. This one. Now the game plan is this Stoneforge is going to help me find Batterskull to start stabilizing with some life. Because I'm still not out of the woods by a long shot. Game plan here is to throw this Noble away. Sure. That sucks, but like, sure. That's fine. I will trade this for 2 of your Hull Breachers. This could find me a land. I don't necessarily think that I care about that. It's not going to find me a weapon to put in with Stoneforge, so I'm just going to pass. This can happen in my opponent's turn. Like, opponent is on a very finite subset of cards that matter in their entire deck. So I think that we're in a pretty reasonable spot. Right now it's just like Archon attack, twice kill you. Chalice says that your zeros are shut off. Archon says you only get 1 spell a turn. All your the majority of your lands enter tapped. Like, so Saga's out. You're on like Urza? And even Urza doesn't really save you? Yep, 3. Tinker. You have a Sphinx main? I'm gonna grab a thing, I guess. I'm gonna get a Stoneforge. Sure. Time Vault. Yep. You have died, friend. Stoneforge Mystic. White. 1. Yes. Get Cauldron complete. Cool. Collect roofs. Force of Vigor, Pithy Needle. Raminep seems of questionable value. Could probably cut the Stoneforge Mystic package. That's 7 cards. So I guess I could keep. Let's see. Let's cut 1 Stoneforge. Maybe we don't. I'm kind of worried about what happens if. Yeah, I guess I want to keep in the Stoneforge Mystic. Cut Luminarch Aspirants. And then, what else are we cutting? This needle I'm keeping for Saga reasons. I want the needle to shut off Urza's Saga. I also think I'm going to cut Once Upon it. Maybe, no. Could trim a Stoneforge Mystic and Fire and Ice, I guess. I'm just trying to kind of be a deck full of hate on the draw, I guess. I'm gonna have to come back from some garbage. I really don't know. Maybe the Force of Vigors are too much, so maybe I'll cut the 2 Force of Vigors, not go to just play my hate stuff that I can usually get around counter magic. This is far too slow. This is much better. Keep this. Put one of these Stoneforgers to the bottom. There you go. Crypt. Yep. Soul Ring, sure. Tinker. Savannah, I guess? You're probably gonna tinker into Citadel. No, it's just Sphinx. Okay. Cast this. I was definitely supposed to play the Savannah. I guess now is just cast this Stoneforge now. Try to get it online quickly. Yes. Get Cauldron? Sword? Probably Sword, I suppose. Because then we go Archon and try to use Archon plus Sword to end up eating Sphinx. Just need to draw. We cut all the aspirants, didn't we? We cut all the aspirants. Yep. That's just fine. There's a land. Use this needle to name what? Saga right off the get? See what they do about it? Urza's Saga. Sure. So then, oh, right. Yup, take 6 more. I really want this to be uncounterable. I don't really have time for it to be uncounterable, though. You got force? No. Okay. Okay. Hull Breacher, sure. Like, Stoneforge is priced into stepping in front of Hull Breacher here. Yikes. Yeah. That'll do it. So, bring in Cage. Now I know that they're trying to tinker for Sphinx. Cut another Force of Vigor, I suppose? I guess maybe Oof is the one. Knowing they can play around Oof with Urza. No. I definitely want that. Looking for maximum weight. I guess let's cut the needle because I know that I can shut off Saga with Wastelands and such. Yeah, I guess. Cage. I mean, I know you're playing at this point, right? Like, and then we have uncounterable Collector Roof. Brainstorm is fine. Okay. I would absolutely just slam a Wasteland there. Because opponent brainstormed and did nothing. Push is fine. Here's a Saga. Take out your Saga. Cast Stoneforge Mystic. Pitch Circles Recall, okay. Opponent's hemorrhaging a lot of resources here to try to catch up with us. Oh, that's so good. Wasteland. Wasteland. Mox Emerald. Horizon Canopy. Archon. Play a noble. Go ahead. Ponder's fine. So... Ooh, opponent's still stuck. Wasteland. play this. I will attack for 1. Always yield a higher trigger. Now opponent is very behind and has to deal with an Archon in play. Welcome to the party, Mana Crypt. Glad you're here. Opponent now has to hope they can race my Mana Crypt. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1 turn away. We're a mana source away, a land away from Cauldron Complete. Don't worry, opponent. My Crypt's gonna kill me for you. It's fine. All right. So that is 2 and 2. We've got 1 more to go. I will fire this up and let's see where we end up. Yeah, so this is a weird league. Like, I played against Blue Tinker, played Dead Guy Ale. Wild. Alright. Keep. This is a turn 1 Stoneforge Mystic that is uncounterable. Cast Mox. Name Core. Make a Stoneforge. Always yield. Yes. Get a Cauldron. Say go. Turning off auto yields because opposition agent sees too much play in this format for me to try to be doing that kind of garbage. Soul Ring, sure. Top, yes. Spins top. 2 blue floating. What do we got? Notably, opponent is also a very, very powerful wizard. Ozymandias is a known commodity. Oh. Spinning top again? Question mark? Confused by this. But, like, sure. Deal? This one. Put this into play. I will always yield to my living weapon trigger. That one seems fair. Seems like it's basically free to do. So as it sits, we're gonna look to jam another uncounterable Stoneforge Mystic into. Oh no! Oh no, opponent! Opponent looks to be pretty stuck with this Divining Top. Draw a card. Okay, okay. They found something they liked. Mox, sure. Tutor? Dark Confidant. I suppose. Wild. Gonna activate this thing. Fire nice into play? Equip. Okay. So, opponent showed us Lotus, Soul Ring, Sensei's Divining Top, Dark Confidant. So, I feel like opponent may be on PO, but they would have to be on PO without Citadel, because I don't think you would play Bob. Maybe they're on Doomsday? Could be Bug. I guess that would be such a weird Bug hand. Opponent had Lotus, Ring, Top. That makes me think Collector Roof would be good. Seeing Bob also makes me think Mirroring Crusader would be good. So here's where we're at. I think I'm going to cut Force of Vigors. I don't know that Chalice is going to be great, so I'm going to cut that too. I want Collector Oof. I want Mirroring Crusader. I'm going to cut a couple of Luminarch Aspirants to get the last two Oofs in my deck and call that a day? Like, that ain't it. That looks much more like it. Opponent could be PO, so they could have Lavinia, in which case I want this. I guess it's basically free to keep that over Canopy. Mox, yes. Underground Sea. Confidant, sure. Mox. Crocus. Liberator? Hurkyl's Recall. Sure. You are allowed to Ancestral yourself. Eliminate. Okay. What in the world? Canopy. Show you my clock? Opponent's Bob fed the Mox. Scroll, sure. Brainstorm. Ruby, sure. Top, yes. Spins with top. Decides, so what, Brainstorm is your pitch card? You scroll for Brainstorm and then don't Brainstorm. Okay. Another land, then Brainstorm. That one's pretty good. Not gonna lie. Start by wastelanding you. No reason not to. Noble. Misstep my noble, sure. Stoneforge. You got force for that one? You have force for that one. Pitching Hercules recall. I'm going to attack you for 4. So then... Opponent's Bob's Mana Crypt up top. That's the kind of one you want up top, I guess. Like, I'm not really sure what opponent's trying to get to here. I definitely want to find my collector roof in a right hurry, that's for sure. So, what is the plan here? Look at the top 3, draw a card, sure. Put the top away elsewhere? Okay. Is top the card we're bobbing into? Is that our game plan? Oh, we're just going to fetch it away. Sure, sure. Underground Sea, yes. Time Vault. That's a good one, not gonna lie. Well, that shuts off that plan, so... Opponent can no longer untap or tap their Time Vault. Blue to Delta, sure. Bob has been very good to you. Key, yes. What? Human, I guess? You got the removal. We're drawing to the removal spell proof. Bob showed us Academy. Ponder's fine. Nice. Cool. So there is a 3-2. I think that some of those matchups... Yes, let's go back. So, what did we play? We played against... Oh, that's not what we're after. All the way down to Dead Guy, Tinker, whatever Ozymandias is doing. This was Bug. Okay. So opponent was on Bug. And that matchup definitely is winnable. Like, we just got... It broke a little in our opponent's favor when it could have broke a little more in ours. And then, finally... This was the Bant matchup. And again, that was the same way. Opponent... I guess, in both of those situations, opponents have a little more consistency, right? They're playing some blue cards and, you know, that allows you... And things like Time Walk, which are very, very good. And we are not. So, I mean, I suppose it is what it is. But, I think that is going to do it for me for tonight. If you like what you see here, go ahead and follow the playlist, because there will be... All of my content will be uploaded into a playlist on the Team Swish YouTube there. If you like what you see and you would like to catch me live, in the bottom... that way. Bottom left hand side of this video, you will see my Twitch URL there. I go live 3 times a week. My Twitter is down underneath my face here. You can follow me on Twitter if you would like to know when I'm going to go live. I post all of the information there. And you can always follow me on Twitch to get the notifications as well. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.